Hi, my name is Brandon I. Brooks, and I'm the managing editor of the Los Angeles Sentinel newspaper and also the LA Watts Times newspaper. It's my absolute pleasure today to be here with Commander Alan Hamilton as we discuss a very, very interesting and serious topic of use of force. How are you doing today, Mr. Hamilton?
I'm doing good, sir. It's always great to be here at the Sentinel.
Of course, we appreciate your time. And again, this is a part of a series of videos that we've been doing with the LAPD over the last few months. So we appreciate your time and to bring us up to speed on this topic because we're very curious about this.
Sure, absolutely.
Before we go any further, I think it's appropriate that you introduce yourself to our audience and let us know about you, who you are, and we unfortunately at times we feel like we don't see enough of us in the uniform.
Right,
so
right.
It's
I
good
hear
to
you.
see a brother across the way, and so let us know how you got to this position of commander. And, and how you really got the urge to even want to be a police officer.
Well, it's funny. My story starts right here in South Central. I was born in Morningside Hospital. Wow. For those of you that don't know where that is, that's used to be over on Harvard. It's condos and townhomes now, but not too far from Vermont and Manchester. And that's where I was born. That's where my brothers and sisters were born. And I grew up and was raised right here just over the hill in Windsor Hills and Ladera Heights. I went to Inglewood schools. I wasn't one of those guys that went to, Westchester or Pali or anything like that. I went to Inglewood schools, graduated from Inglewood. And that's right, I'm a Sentinel.
Yeah, I'm a fellow Inglewood person too. So
okay,
I like that.
so you can,
okay.
And so so I grew up in this community. Like we were talking about earlier, got lots of time out here on Crenshaw Boulevard. When I was in school, going to college and what have you. I had my time at Venice Beach and Crenshaw Boulevard, like everybody else out here. Okay. And I'm a lifer here in LA. I grew up here, and I plan on staying here through my career. And I've worked all over Los Angeles in different jobs. And then once I came on the Los Angeles Police Department, I worked citywide as well. So I've worked a lot of jobs, done all the things in operations and investigations and administrative work, everything from working undercover, a few different assignments, to working uniform patrol at every rank, all the way up to being in charge of recruitment and a force investigation division.
Wow. Just real quickly before we transition, what urged you to want to be an officer? Because I always feel there's that moment for each individual. It can be different for everyone, but what was ultimately that moment that you said, I want to do this and I really want to make a difference in my community?
What's funny is one of the things I used to do, so in high school, one of the things I did was we had a lot of early gang members that were going to Inglewood High School from different backgrounds. Yeah. And one of the things that I learned early on was, the spirit of helping people. If I'm going around preaching necessarily, I would just try and get guys.
Your friends, your brothers.
Yeah, I just try and get guys to think about what their future looks like. And, quite frankly, some of them didn't see a future for themselves. And I always told them, you're looking at the first chapter of life. And you got to remember, it's a whole book. And let's get to the end of the book. And I would tell them, the first part of that is, and it's not, again, I wouldn't preach. I wouldn't do it because I'm their peer. Yeah. But what I would tell them is I'm available if you're having trouble with a class or something like that or making a decision. I'm available to help you out. Wow. So my big thing was availability. And, I would spend lunchtime tutoring gang members trying to help them out.
This
is while I was still in high school. Yeah, I used to work, everybody had the little office, the office period where they worked. And during that office period, the kids that were getting in trouble, I'd take them aside and I'd try to help them out any way I could. From an area of how can I help? Yeah. So I just kind of translated that right over to law enforcement. And one of the things, I've worked gangs at every level. I've been an officer, a detective, a sergeant, and a lieutenant. Wow. And the first thing I always do, my first approach is always prevention. I always try to talk people out of going down that road and staying in that lifestyle because we all know where it ends. Yeah. And it never ends good.
I appreciate that. But let's transition to what brings us here today, which is the topic of use of force.